Matt Araiza, the punt god. We spent a lot of time, even prior to the allegations, the rape allegations that came out that subsequently led to his release of the Buffalo Bills. Spent a ton of time on just him being a generational punter for the National Football League. And quickly thereafter, he was released by Buffalo due to the rape charges and allegations that he had unconsensual sex with someone that he thought was of age but was underage. And the Bills let him go. And since then, he's been saying he's completely innocent. He didn't say that he didn't have sex with the girl or woman. He said that it was consensual, and she said that she was 18. Well, per Dan Wetzel, newly released information show he wasn't present at the time of the video that is now being used to show he wasn't there, and they may not even have the ability to prove a case of rape based on the video evidence that's being leaked with all of this. This is something that is not a recurring issue enough that's discussed as a top headline. But if in fact he's totally innocent of this, consider the different stories you can point to. A.J. Johnson comes to mind for me.
Yeah.
In Knoxville, where there are allegations that surface in November of 2014 that he is not acquitted of until July of 2018. And whenever this came out, this is right on the eve of him going to the Combine. He was not allowed, linebacker in the SEC, not allowed to go to the Combine. And now he's bounced around the league at best as a practice squad / special teams player when he was much better than that at the time. And in Matt Araiza's case, you have people involved and witnesses that are saying that he wasn't present. But on top of that, there may not be able to prove a criminal case on behalf of the plaintiff in this because multiple men were involved. And in Araiza's case, he's saying he went outside to pee. She approached him, and they had consensual sex.
Yeah, there's a lot of witnesses in this story too that were approached by the same young woman that are
at
confirming that she was walking up to people, essentially verbally offering herself up to the party. It's a terrible situation, and it's a great lesson in there is a court of opinion and there is a court of law in this country, and we must wait until the court of law rules and all sides of the story are released. Now, is he guilty of statutory rape?
He still can face civil charges of that.
Yes, I would say so, because a defense is not, she said she was 18. Even though I believe him, based on witnesses and everyone else in this case that said the same thing, that she was walking around telling everyone that. Now, does that put the onus on someone to look at their ID, before having consensual sex with them? I don't know how that looks in court, but is he completely innocent of everything in this? Maybe not. Maybe he is going to face something civilly, but the big headline and takeaway was Matt Araiza was involved in gang rape when this story came out, and that was the allegation. And he's not guilty of that. He has been cleared of that, and that's an important thing to note. And here's the crazy thing about it, Hutton. This could cost him his career in the NFL.
Could, but also
I don't know that he's going to get another chance.
It could clear his name. This video where it's very unclear on if she's approving of whatever's going on or not. Let's put it that way. And if you can't prove that in the video that's taking place where Araiza is not present, how can you believe her if she says that, I told him I was 17? If everyone else is saying she's going around saying that she was of age.
Yeah, I don't think, I don't know the law, but I don't think that matters.
Well,
she could say she was 25.
It's a preponderance of the evidence, so it's more likely than not if it's a civil trial.
Well, they're not going to press charges on the allegation of gang rape because she's so off.
And the allegation
on everything that happened.
Of the attorney representing her is saying Araiza's attorney is leaking this so that they'll drop the civil suit. And he said we're far from dropping those charges against Araiza. But 2 days after these allegations came out, Buffalo, kicked him to the curb.
They hung with him for a couple days, and
it
then
took,
the noise got too loud to hold on to him.
But also, this did not happen as he went straight into the league. This is something that had happened
at San Diego State.
But like a year and a half prior, where the San Diego district attorney didn't bring forth charges for a while, criminally. So it is a mess, and it just goes to show, false accusers should face more than just a fine or wasting people's time in this. They should face charges.
Yeah, I don't.
If you could prove that what the allegations are absolutely false.
Well, what's happened now to Matt Araiza and what happened to A.J. Johnson, the other example, who was eventually got to the NFL, but career was definitely in jeopardy, and years of his life were taken away because he faced an allegation that was completely false.
Well, let me throw one more in.
Something should happen.
Trevor Bauer. He has maintained his innocence, and he's been blackballed by Major League Baseball. And nothing's come of that case.
The fear is, in doing so, you don't want to discourage women from coming forward if they are legitimate victims of something. And that if there is suddenly now you're on trial too, and if you aren't proven right, you're going to go to jail for being a false accuser.
Right.
That would scare. Many women are scared to come forward either way. That would scare away a lot more from doing that.
I'm saying you've got to be able to prove it.
That's the flip side of the argument. But if you can find malice, it's sort of like libel or slander, right? It's a law like that. If you can find this person knowingly did this for whatever reason, out of malice, they were angry with the person, or we have texts that show this was actually the relationship. Yeah, I think it should be worse than a fine. I think there should be jail time for someone that basically ruined someone else's life or a part of it with a false accusation. That should happen. Now, it's got to be something that's very difficult to prove, though, also, right? You got to make it really, really hard to prove. The standard of proof of what you're looking for with that would have to be very, very difficult, I think, for a false accuser to face jail time. But turns out it's a sad story for Matt Araiza, because he was charged and he was convicted in the court of public opinion, and it looks like he's not guilty of the crime he was accused of. Even if he is guilty of something he may be civilly liable for.
Well, he has filed a claim against San Diego State University for damage to his reputation. That was a document that was acquired by ESPN. But also remember, this came to light as he was drafted and went into the league. So the news came out, and the accusation, the response at the time was, well, here's the text between the two parties. Here's the correspondence. There are at least two witnesses that claim that and will testify that she was going around the party saying she was 18 years old. But all of that aside, the news then comes out and hits the media circus as he's about to join the Buffalo Bills with all of the Super Bowl aspirations. And, 2 days after this comes out, he's off the team. And there needs to be more done to dig up exactly the timing of that news and whether or not, Chad, you're right, there was malice behind what was taking place here.
Yeah, I mean, that's – and I say malice, but if you can prove that someone knowingly falsely accused someone and wasn't just mistaken for whatever reason, there's got to be some sort of punishment, I would think. This is a great example of that. Now, this one's a little bit trickier because of the statutory rape part of it that Matt Araiza is not even denying. There was no rape, but by technicality, because she wasn't 18, he could be guilty of a crime by having consensual sex with her, even if she lied to him about her age. That's very unfortunate for Matt Araiza, and he may be found civilly liable for something because of this civil case, but he should get an opportunity to play in the NFL. And he may never get that now. People may just say, well, we've got a punter, we're good, and not take a chance on him. And that sucks.
Yes.
That his dream of playing in the NFL is over because he was accused of gang rape and he wasn't even there. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but also doesn't deny having sex with her. Right? I mean, that's the other part. He was just like it was consensual.
Yeah, I think they're two separate incidents. There was him having sex with her outside the house earlier in the night, and then him being gone for an hour and a half when the big crime happened that she claims happened.
Which
But
there are point of view videos of where she's not verbally. The reports are she's not telling them anything that you would expect them to say.
The video
like,
evidence
stop.
and the eyewitness accounts are so bad for her that no authorities have pressed charges.
Right.
They have declined to press any charges. So the only hope she now has is in civil court.